Hey everybody, so it's just Dan here. Jack's at school, and I came home from dropping him off here, getting to work, but just want to do a quick update to kind of show people. I got a little reflection and everything in the background here, but we did a cleaning video, and I just wanted to kind of show people how well these guys do at cleaning this inside tank. I mentioned in our cleaning video, one of the things I do is I just take a tube and I just put it in the top here, and I put it down inside of this aqua cave, and that takes the air out. It just comes out to the atmosphere and fills with water all the way. And as you can see, this little cave, the little raft floats right up to the top here of this aqua cave, and you can see a little hole in the back where normally the air would escape. And all of this area was filled with algae. And people are always like, how do you clean it? And I mentioned in our cleaning video how we do this, but I didn't actually show it, and I wanted to just do a quick update. So by letting that air out of there, it then takes and fills with water, and then the water level of the tank goes down a little bit, but not past the penthouse, so it doesn't lose its pressure. And so it's just enough to take this down a couple inches, because this is obviously a much larger tank, and this is a smaller tank. So then what I did is I did that yesterday evening when I got done working. And during the night, this is our little one-armed or one-finned Pleco. He got up in there. You can look at him now. He's so fat. He's like, I'm so full. I ate all night. He went in there and just cleaned off the entire thing. And as you can see, that is crystal clear now. So this whole area normally down to this hole is filled with air, and that raft floats, and that's where turtles go. Now the only bad part about this is the turtles didn't really have a place to rest for tonight, but because the water was down, they just hung out on top of these little avatar rocks here, and they were able to just sleep there. And of course they can go up top, way to the top of the penthouse, and they can rest there. Now they're not going to get fresh air for very long, but they still seem to do okay up there for very long periods of time. And then after they realize, hey, there's no fresh air, they kind of come back down to their aqua cave. But I only do that every couple of months, and I just do it during the night, and these plecos go in there. It looks like this guy found it first, and he is just like, oh, I'm stuffed from eating all night, and he's probably going to sleep this morning now. But these little awesome plecos are just fantastic. I have, of course, the really, really big guy here, big common pleco. And there's another one that's the leopard pleco that has both of his arms. He is just absolutely gorgeous with markings. There's one of the real nice gold gouramis up there in the penthouse. And these guys are like, hey, fix our cave. We want to go back on our raft. So it's really easy to do. But anyway, what we do is, now that it's all cleaned out and it's all ready to go, I simply I put a couple clamps on the tube here just to make sure that, it doesn't back up. I mean, I have a check valve and all that, but I just put a couple clamps on the tube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down in here, and I'm just going to, this is the pump we use, and I'm just going to pop this tube back on here. I might not be able to hold the camera while I'm doing this, but just real quick, I'll show you. I'm just gonna just pop this back on here. It's kind of hard to see in here, but I just put this back on here real quick. Just pop it on. You can hear the pump right away. So that's back on, and I'm gonna turn it up all the way just to fill that up right away. And I'm gonna take these clamps off here. And that, I just put a few of them on here just to make sure during the night, it doesn't back up or anything. So then that pump leads to this tube here, comes down from the bottom. As you can see, goes all the way up, goes over that, and then down the side here, right along here, right by the heater here, all the way down, gets buried under the gravel, and then goes under the gravel over to here. And as you can see, when I took those clamps off right away, bam, that is filling right up there. So that air now is going to fill that aqua cave back up, and it's going to bring that float back down to this hole. So then these turtles will have a couple of inches that they can hang out in. And I'll turn that, I don't leave the air this high all the time. I'm just going to do this real quick so it fills real quick. And then that will fill back up, bring that air back down, push this water out. The water will then fill the big tank and push this back up to the regular level. And all of this is very simple once you get this all set up. And I only have to do that, like I said, about every couple of months, sometimes every 2 or 3 months. And as you can see, that raft is now getting freed because it's not pressed against the top of that glass. And it's going to start floating around freely, and the turtles can go up in there and hang out. And yeah, so again, I only do that. I usually do it during the night because the plecos have a tendency to really kind of search around during the night. So yeah, this guy, he's probably going to sleep all day because he was busy working all night. These guys are just little living vacuum cleaners, and they do such a good job. If you look in here, all of this was quite dirty and started to fill up with algae, and even the top, I fill it as, you know, all the way, and he actually will go all the way to the top and almost out of the water, even though there's about a half a centimeter, maybe a quarter of a centimeter of air left, even after I drain it, he will go up against, and you can see there's a little algae left on the top there that he might not have been able to reach because maybe the raft was in the way, but then he'll just get that the next time I do it, you know? And then that grows on the inside of this tank. So he probably missed that little area there because that's where the raft was and he couldn't get to it, but then he got all this other area here and because the light's shining through. So then next time, you know, I'll just try to make sure the raft is like over here when I take the air out, and then he'll go up and get that. And a lot of times this big one, this guy probably was in there last night too. He usually goes in there and really takes a lot of that too. But you can see it's just crystal clear. I don't have to really take it apart. I don't have to, you know, scrub it. I just take away the air, fill it with water. The plecos go in there and they clean it all out. And this, you can see how fast this is filling. So in the next few minutes, this will come back down to normal. The air will start burping back out that hole in the back. I'll probably turn the dial down on this. I just kind of let it trickle in there. And these guys will have their raft back. So pretty cool. Very easy to maintain once you get it all together. And I'm just going to come out and get the whole thing. If you haven't seen some of our other videos, and I do have some reflections. The sun's coming up this morning, but this is our, you know, we call this the most creative aquarium. This is our aqua cave inside here, and that's where the turtles hang out. And this is our pen house, and that just, the weight of the pen house holds the aqua cave down because that air obviously would make it float. And you could put weights on top or glass on top and not have this coming out of the top. We thought it was really cool to incorporate both because that way we had this extra room. And as you can see, the other fish and turtles go up here very often. It gives them kind of a bird's eye view of the room, and they're able to kind of, the turtles like it a lot. They go up there and they kind of look down on us and look around the room here and stuff like that too. So it's really cool. If you haven't checked out some of our videos, definitely check them out. I just want to kind of show people how easy this is. They get a lot of questions about how I clean this aqua cave, and it's really that simple. You take a little tube, you put it in there, you let the air out, and it just comes right out. The water pressure just pushes it right out. You turn the pump off, of course, so it stops filling. And then the next morning, after it's all clean, you just turn it back on, and it's back to normal. They literally clean it all in a couple of hours. Yeah, he's starting to wake up there. This is our guy that only has the one side fin there. And he's doing really well. He's a leopard pleco. I got him and the other leopard pleco together. Someone brought them in. They were getting a little too big for their tank. And he is just doing fantastic. He was quite beat up. And I said, well, I have a good home for him. And me and Jack took him in here and put him in here. And he seems to do very well. And he obviously isn't as good of a swimmer, but he gets along fine. And nobody picks on him or bothers him in here. There's plenty of room for everybody. And he really loves it, and he loves going in there and cleaning that for us at night. So yeah, check out some of our other videos. We got a lot of stuff on fish tanks, health and wellness and everything. Jack and Dan, we're going to be heading to San Antonio soon. We're going to be heading back to Ohio Fish Rescue soon. We got a lot of really awesome videos coming out, plus a lot of great healthy recipes and workout ideas and everything. So okay, so I just wanted to real quick, I know I was going to end the video, but I've been wanting to change a timer on these lights because the timer was acting up. And by the time I got done doing that real quick, in a few minutes, the whole aqua cave was full again. I just want to show you how fast it filled up. The turtle went right up into his aqua cave, and he was just like, cool, my raft is back. Now he's probably going to see me, and he's going to jump off because he thinks it's time to eat. So he'll come down underneath there, and I'll probably feed these guys this morning. This guy went up there and came out when he saw me, and so I tried to step back so he wouldn't see me right away. But as you can see, now this air is just coming out of that under gravel buried tube. I have a stone under there. Comes up, gives the fresh air, and then that air burping out the back, and I'll show you from the back, is coming right out where that hole is. And this is the little raft, and I don't have it attached. It's just free floating, and they just kind of get on it whenever they want. So now they have a wonderful clean aqua cave because their little friend here, our wonderful one-finned leopard pleco friend here, cleaned it for them overnight. And now it's crystal clear, as you can see, and we can see them very easily. The other thing that people always have questions about, I forgot to address this, is they say, why doesn't this fog up? Why doesn't this steam up? Well, the reason is because the water surrounding the aqua cave, the water in the big tank surrounding the aqua cave, is the same temperature as the water inside. So if you look up here at this is fogging up where there's some air at the top. And that's what normally happens in these types of situations, because the air here outside is, cooler or warmer than the water, and so there's condensation. When you have an aqua cave like this, he's going back on there. He's like, you're just filming. You're not going to feed us. I'm going to go back on my raft. So you got to go over this side, buddy. They figure it out. They come over here where the little ramp is and get on there. He's just like, I just want back on my raft. So the cool part is the aqua cave stays completely clear. Every couple months, you let the air out, you let the plecos go in there and clean it up. Oh, he's finally coming out of it. He's like, I had it, this turtle's messing me up here. So he's going to come out. As you can see, he has the one fin there. And we don't really know what happened to him. He was returned to a pet store, and they didn't even notice until I was looking at him, and I said, hey, I think there's something missing on him. And the guy said, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that. And someone came and actually turned him and this other leopard pleco in right here, and they were probably brothers or sisters or something, or siblings of some sort. And we're in a tank, and probably something was in there that wasn't very friendly, and so it probably ripped his fin off. And we don't know if it happened when he was young or older, but he's a beautiful guy. Now his tail does get a little bit withered there, probably picked on a little bit because he's not so fast, but it does seem to heal. And he's done quite well in here we've had him for like a year now, I think. And anyway, so that's how the whole aqua cave thing works. It's really cool, and it'll stay crystal clear now for months. And the turtles will be able to hang out in there. All I'll do is I'll go on my little dial there on my pump, and I'll just turn that dial back and let that air go down a little bit. In fact, I'll do it right now, if I can kind of manage that while I'm still pointing at the tank. And even more than that. Yeah, so I just kind of dial that back, and it still burps out. And there he is on the other side. Now he's cleaning the outside of the aqua cave. So this kind of design really gives you an awesome, really neat, I'll go over here because of the glare, just a really neat, awesome, unique setup that gives your turtles or frogs or newts or whatever, crabs, you could use it for anything. Gives them an awesome, unique home that's very original, where you can have multiple different kinds of animals together in an environment without necessarily sacrificing the tank. Now this didn't fill up exactly how high as I estimated, but came pretty close. So I'll just top it off, throw like a bucket of water in there or whatever, and it'll be all set to go for another few months. I actually cleaned the filters and did the aqua cave, and probably we're going on vacation here in a little bit. I'll probably do a water change before we leave on vacation. It'll be all set up for another month or two. But I just wanted to kind of show people how easy this was to do. And then now you can see it's just kind of filling at its normal rate. They're getting all their oxygen. They could hang out in there as long as they want. And that air is just bubbling out the back. And next time it gets kind of green or anything, I just take the air out. And this guy will most likely just clean it out for us again. Or any of these other plecos that we have in here. A lot of times this little guy here, this little albino bushy-nosed, he usually gets in there. He probably was in there last night. He gets all the corners and the little cracks there. You can see, yeah, he was probably in there because there's just nothing left up there. And so, yeah, really, really cool. Hit us up in the comments if you have any other questions about this kind of crazy design. We have designed many of these kind of tanks. This is the first one we ever really posted. We're going to be working on some other ones for people. And if you are interested in having one built or something similar, we have all kind of different ideas. Let us know in the comments. We can hook up and we can help you build something really original and unique.